This shop's one of a kind. We never know what might turn up. Some days, it could be a grand old classic. Other days, maybe a muscle car, even a military vehicle. Some jobs are quick fixes. Others are full-blown restorations. And on occasion, million-dollar recreations. My only rule, perfection. And that's the kind of thing that we do at the Guild Garage. So Larry's coming over. You know, Larry's my investment partner. And we usually, buy really high-end cars. But this time, I got a bit of a surprise for him. You know the auction house in the States owed us a whole whack of money?
Yes.
Okay, well, I haven't been entirely truthful with you. They did send some of it. And I used it on an acquisition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You bought something
That people like.
with my money, and you bought something that I'm supposed to like.
Our money.
Oh,
It's 50-50
listen,
on
are we married or what? I don't remember this.
So you stay here, and I'll go and get the new acquisition. And
My luck with you, you probably bought a horse.
Yeah,
All right.
well, yeah.
I'm waiting right here.
All right.
Car that I just recently sold in the States, I was waiting for the money. He originally told me the money wasn't here, but then now he tells me that some of the money came up and he took around and spent it on something. This is what we bought. This is cool. I like it.
I've been a fan of Broncos for a long time. Pretty special truck coming out of Ford. I mean, they were made originally to sort of compete with Jeeps, and they've been through generation after generation. I've heard that they may be producing them again. This one's really cool because it's custom. She's a monster mudder. She's real special. I can get staff to give you a boost if you
Where
like.
the hell's the bar?
There's no grab bar. You got to be younger than you to get in. Oh, that's elegant. Yeah, you need to get your whole ass on this.
Hey, there's not even a window. Where's the back window? You know what? If nothing else, it's noisy. That's probably, that's about all it's got going for it.
See, if we hit this car, you watch what happens to it.
Oh, if ever there was a saying, hold her newt, she's a-heading for the row bar because this baby is going there. Of all the investments, it's still way at the bottom of the list.
You know, this is one of those things I can probably double up on. And even though it's sort of paltry, it's good. It's fun to own.
Do you normally just have gas fumes coming back up like this?
Yeah, it's part of the whole experience.
I came and thought I was going to really be shocked and surprised. Instead, I'm shocked and surprised by, guess what? The Blue Monster. Whoa. Are you sure we're not losing parts every time this thing
Wouldn't that be better than the condo in Palm Beach?
And the noise is unbelievable.
What a beautiful truck.
All joking aside, I seriously think that this Bronco is going to bring $17,000, $18,000 in resale. So I'm going to see if we can off it. Fooling around with the Bronco aside, I've got a really busy week this week, and I've got to vet some very special cars for a client. So I'm going to send Brad and Barry off to the Can-Am vintage races so they can take a look at some of the cars.
So we're here on a recon mission. We have a customer that's interested in buying a Can-Am car, so we're here to kind of educate ourselves. We've seen these cars race on the track, but to get up close and speak to everybody, that's where we're going to get the best information.
Can-Am races ran from 1966 to 1974, and they were pretty exciting. They also drove a lot of the technology and innovation that you see in race cars today.
Excess was never enough. Whatever idea you came up with that night in the garage, you can put it on the track the next day and nobody's going to have a problem with it.
Can-Am cars are basically big block Chevys with 700 to 800 horsepower, and they move along pretty good, like a real light chassis and all different body styles like Lola and McLaren, and so they're pretty cool cars.
The engine noise on these cars, you can feel it in your body when it fires up, and they crack that throttle, and it's a woomba, woomba, as my little guy would say. It takes most people's breath away. It's awesome that these cars live on. Our mouths are drooling. Some of these cars are just amazing. Oh, here's that red car.
Oh, yeah.
Red Lola.
You like her?
Nice.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Yeah.
This is John Surtees's 1967 car. It's one of 4 lightweights that they made.
First Can-Am race was won by John Surtees in 1966. Lola tried to perfect their T70, and John Surtees tested the car, and I guess he didn't like the way it handled or the feel of the car, and never ever used it in a Can-Am race.
He didn't like the car. He ran it about 3 or 4 times and went back to his old car. He said the front end flexed too much. The gentleman I got it from in the UK crashed it pretty heavily. They rebuilt the front, so now more standard Lola, so I guess it behaves better than some of the other ones that are here. It's a beast. I mean, there's just so much power. When you get too heavy on the throttle too quick, whoop, you're gone.
Oh, yeah.
Just spin right off.
Yeah, I've seen guys go right in front of me and it just, where'd he go? What happened?
Power to weight ratio in a race car is what everybody's looking for, because the lighter the car and the more horsepower you have, the better car you're going to have. It'll go around the corners quicker and along the straightaways faster, and that's what you're looking for in a race car.
Holy jumping! Holy cow!
Well, I was pretty surprised that Larry could actually get into the Bronco. I thought I would have to give him a step stool. What's going to be even better surprise, and I know he's going to grouse about this, is he's gone along in this expedition to get a tractor part for my 2-cylinder John Deere.
So this is my little John Deere AR. She's a 1947, maybe early 1948. It's the deluxe version that has an electric start on it. They made this really funny popping noise, so they ended up being called Johnny Poppers or Poppin' Johnnies, depending on where in the States you were.
My Poppin' Johnny ain't popping anymore. Turns out that the Magneto just ate itself. Magneto basically was spun by the engine, so if you were hand cranking the motor, the mag turned, and as it turns, it creates a spark. Don't need a distributor, don't need a battery. Airplanes still use them, because if you want to get where you're going and your electrical system fails, the mag gets you there.
Okay, well, here's the problem. One piece of metal probably broke off and created all this, and it's jammed it. So that's why it just sort of, it didn't want to roll over. Probably the battery was fine. No wonder she wasn't sparking immediately.
Look at that! Oh yeah, like I'm really turned on. A yellow thing.
Yeah, no, it's not a yellow thing.
What
it's
is
an
a yellow?
international.
Oh, it's an international yellow thing.
That's great. I wonder if that's for sale.
He is a farmer. He's definitely a farmer. Man, it goes, eh? What are you coming in here for?
To pick up some parts. Because this is my kind of place. So Larry thought he was coming for lunch, but he's not. He's coming with me to get a Magneto for my tractor. Okay, stay there. Don't break your ankle getting out.
I won't.
How are you doing, Dave?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Not bad at all.
Oh, he took the keys, a little bugger. I was gonna take off and leave him here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's
Great,
nice.
Great old thing.
Isn't that nice?
There's gotta be a way you can make this work. Oh, he's right there. You took the keys.
I'm not that dumb. So you want to see what I bought?
Oh, listen, we picked a Magneto up. And for what? A classic car? No, a tractor.
Do you know what that is?
I think that's funny, don't you?
I do think that's funny.
Throw the friggin' thing in the back. It's a tractor part.
You got me.
Give me a break.
I just got to get out of here.
All right, let's rock and roll.
Because
Whoa! Ooh! Oh, jumping.
yeah, that was an
This
almost.
guy's still waiting.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Just as I picked up my Magneto, we're pulling out of the shop. I turn right, guy pulls out in front of me. I brake for him. A truck comes flying past us, and
Can we stop somewhere so I can change my underwear now?
And now I got another stain to clean.
Bet you that thing rocks, man.
Brad and Barry are on a recon mission today for a potential Guild client. I seriously hope they're taking notes.
It was kind of hard to believe that Dave said, you guys need to go out and do a little recon for me, so get out of the shop and cut loose a little bit and bring me back some good information for my client. This one got a small block Ford in it?
Small Chevy.
It is a Chevy? Well, we're down here trying to look at some cars and get some ideas and, you know, maybe get a lead on a couple of these cars.
There's a lot of them that have been duplicated, like the McLaren M8F. There's quite a few fakes out there. And they had a reunion at Road America several years ago, and if they made like 15 McLaren M8Fs, the comment was, it's good to see that all 17 with 15 cars were made are all here.
It looks awesome. Like the paint is like, it looks like it's one of our restorations of the, you know, the production cars we did. And then the weight of this car is probably...
I want to say 1,800 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, what a great car it's been for us. And we've only had it for a few years.
1,800 pounds? A Mini Cooper's like 2,600 pounds with just over 100 horsepower, and this car has like 7 times that amount of horsepower. It must just crank down that track like crazy.
Ken,
Yes.
look what I finally got.
Lovely.
It's taken a while, but it looks like the wait was worth it. This is really nicely rebuilt.
Absolutely.
Isn't that nice? If you can put that on for me, give me a yell when you need to do the fire up. But if
Okay.
you can get it on in time, and then I'll just run out when I get a few minutes and we'll do the fire up together.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Dave just brought me this new Magneto. The whole idea of a Magneto is it'll create its own spark without a battery. The whole thing with these mag is it's a twin-cylinder tractor, and it's got 2 teeth that drive this gear here. As it rotates, it has to fire the spark, and that's what give us our ignition to start the tractor. I just got to time the mag by rotating it counterclockwise now. Right there. Now I got the Magneto all timed. I'll go get Dave.
Could be a good day today. Might be able to double my money on the Bronco. Picked up my Magneto. Ken's working on my John Deere. And I probably have enough time to work on a special project. The Lotus V8 twin-turbo Esprit was sort of the end of a 25-year-long development program. And it grew and grew and grew until they created this fire-breathing monster that was more expensive than a Ferrari and a lot faster than any of the Ferraris of the day. We got it down in Carmel quite some time ago, and it's sort of become a family pet. I just fell in love with it. It was the color, the look. I mean, they were a wonderful-looking car.
There she is, the Lotus. Yeah.
When I put this car on the road this spring, you know, I was decelerating through town, and you could hear this rattling bouncing off the buildings. You know, the car has a nice roar, and it's got a great sound, but that rattle sort of went, well, what the hell is that? The muffler, there's a little bit of a pop. You can hear it when it's driving, and also it rattles, so I guess the baffles inside the muffler are buggered.
There's that rattling noise we're after.
Yeah, that's it. When you declutch, you know, it really rattles.
Yeah.
Maybe a baffles let go inside the muffler. So if that's the case, then we'll replace it so you can hear it.
Well, you know, it seems to be emanating more from over here.
So that's the catalytic.
It's possible.
Apparently it's not the muffler that's the problem, it's one of the catalytic converters. And that shouldn't have happened. They don't wear out that way. And then I thought, last year, just before I put it away, somebody backed into it. Car that hit it here.
On this side,
And I'm wondering if it's broken in around here, so it's just floating. Catalytic converter is basically a system that removes really nasty chemicals and pollutants from the exhaust system. I hope it's not. I hope it's not the catalytic converter.
So do I. It's a relatively easy converter to change on this style of car. But the downside is it's a $4,000 part.
Maybe we'll take this down and then we'll diagnose it.
We're here at Tremblant for the Can-Am Vintage Race Series reunion, so we're here to kind of educate ourselves.
Brad, Jim.
Nice to meet you.
Morning. Barry. Gary, how do you do? Glad to see you. This is the DN4. This is the last of the Shadow Can-Am cars.
Can-Am came up with a bunch of rules to limit the fuel consumption. After the restrictions, basically the Shadow came up and redesigned a whole bunch of stuff and made their car really good, and it just started winning races and nobody could keep up with them, and that was it.
They built 5 of these cars. That was all that was ever built, and this was the first one. The car actually uses Formula One technology. Yeah, the car weighs about 1,800 pounds, so you got 2 pounds per horsepower. Not too bad.
UAP Shadow, as far as I'm concerned, it's the best car in the Can-Am series. It's a piece of art. It's a wonderful car.
I was actually at Mossport in the early 70s when the Can-Am series was running. And I remember the 2 UAP Shadows very well. George Follmer and Jackie Oliver turned out to be the only competition each other had.
This car actually was a test car, and it was planned to be George Fulmer's car for the series. And so they brought George in. They brought the car up to Mossport to test it 10 days before the race, and George crashed heavily.
I grew up with the Can-Am and also the Trans Am, and then I did Indy and some other stock cars, so I did a little of everything, but Can-Am was one of the main stays in my career, and I had a lot of success with it. I always enjoyed running Can-Am cars.
The unique thing that what Nichols did at Shadow is he never sold a car to anybody in the day. He kept every car and every part he ever had. There's very few of them. There's no missing links in it.
They don't change hands very often.
No, not very often at all, no. We spend 100 hours on a car between race weekends. Just if nothing breaks.
Back at the shop.
Yeah, back at the shop.
So what I need to inform my customers, this isn't something you're just gonna jump in and overnight be
oh no.
Good. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, and a lot of money.
And you gotta respect these cars. And if you get comfortable in a car, you're in a danger point, because these cars will bite you bad when they do.
Respect the power. There's, 100 hours of maintenance in between races for these cars, so that can't be cheap. So it's not just buying the car and having it. If they're going to want to campaign it, they're going to have to open their wallet up constantly.
So Brad and Barry bought lots of information back about Can-Am cars. After we found out for the client how much the cars were and what costs were going to be incurred actually using the car, he sort of got cold feet. I mean, it's not just the car, it's having a crew to run it, it's traveling from race course to race course. Boy, that's not a cheap date.
Over here? Okay, guys.
Contact.
Contact. Whoa. Or not. Let's try it one more time. I'll pull full choke. Choke. Pretty sure the mag's working. Looks like the plugs are okay. So it's just a matter of either the batteries don't have enough charge to roll it or the starter motor's poo. I would suspect that it's the starter.
It's got to be. It's got 2 batteries on this thing.
Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Oh, man. Let's kill that battery. That's just ridiculous.
Take this clamp off that retains the muffler to the converter. Suspicious right there. Good work, and it hasn't been tight. Aha! It's been rubbing there. It's all shiny and smooth. It hasn't been clamped down solid. It's been able to move. That indicates to me that something's moving here that shouldn't. The clamp wasn't holding properly. There was something on the inside of it that was still moving around when the pipe muffler moved. Let's see if we still get this rattle here. Ha-ha, gone. It was that stupid clamp.
When the car got smacked into, it actually bent that so that although the bolts were tight, it had opened up the clamp itself, so it was rattling around inside the clamp.
See how that's pigeon-toed? They should be flat to each other. This clamp's been bent, and because it's hitting here, it's not clamping the proper amount of pressure here to hold it tight. So this was moving
I was expecting a dramatic amount of billing, especially when Mike came down and said that the catalytic converter was $4,000.
I straightened the clamps out, readjusted them, tightened them up, and it's 100%. No noise, boys. No noise.
Okay.
So, hopefully that's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right.
On the charger.
Ken's got the mag time for me. He's installed it. The tractor won't start. You know, could be the battery, could be the starter motor. I'm really hoping it's nothing else.
I know that the starter in this is getting to its day and age for sure, because I did take a look at the brushes.
All right.
There we go.
Fortunately, it's the battery, not the starter. This thing draws so much power when it's kicking over that it just drained the battery right out. That was as fast as it goes, and that was like second gear.
Running great. Dave's really happy. Nothing runs like Dave. I mean, a Deere.
On to the next one. I've only got 14 more.
You can have a few passions in your life, and he's definitely a farmer, that's for sure.